بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله, beyond a shadow of a doubt, every single one of us in our life, we're going to go through trials and tribulations, difficulties, and the like. It is incumbent and it is imperative upon the one who he strives to be from those who upon that which is correct. He strives to prepare for the meeting with his Lord in the next life, that he takes very serious and he ponders upon his foundation and the strength of his foundation. قال فضيلة الشيخ عبد الرزاق بن عبد المحسن البدر حفظه الله تعالى: لكل بناء أساسا. Every structure has its foundation. فإن أساس البناء الدين الإيمان بالله سبحانه وتعالى وبأسمائه وصفاته، وكل ما كان هذا الأساس راسخا حمل البنيان بقوة والثبات وسلم من تداعي وسقوط. He said every structure, it has a foundation. And the foundation of the deen is to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in his names and his attributes. This is the foundation, ya ibad. To believe properly in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in his names and in his attributes. And every time this foundation, because this is going to be the ultimate of our foundation, the ultimate of our foundation of the deen, the ultimate of our foundation, that foundation that we will build upon it a sound structure, bi'ithnillahi ta'ala. This is the origin of our foundation. The belief in Allah Azza wa Jal and in his names and in his attributes. Every time this foundation is strengthened and this foundation is firm, then you will find that the structure, that it will be strong, and the structure, it will be stable, and the structure, it will be safe from collapse, and it will be safe from falling down. The structure will be safe from collapse, and it will be safe from falling down. قال إمام ابن القيم رحمه الله تعالى. Imam ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullah alayhi says, من أراد علو بنيانه, whoever wants for his structure to be high, to be raised high and lofty, فعليه بالتوثيق أساسه وإحكامه. He said whoever he wants his structure to be high and lofty, then it is upon him to make sure that his foundation is firm and that it is complete. He has to make sure to the exactness of his foundation and the completion of his foundation, and that his foundation is strong. وَشِدَّ اِعْتِنَاء بِهِ, and he has to have a strong concern for it. Not a haphazardly concern for it, a passing concern for it, but he has to have a strong concern for it. فَإِنَّ عُلُوَ الْبُنْيَانِ على قدر توثيق الأساس وإحكام. He said because the height of the structure and the loftiness of the structure will be dependent upon the firmness of its foundation and the completeness and exactness of its foundation. فالأعمال والدرجات بنيان وأساسها الإيمان. He said because actions and the level of a structure, the height and loftiness of a structure, نعم, then the actions and the height and loftiness, then this will be the structure itself. And the foundation of the structure, then it will be the faith. It will be iman. So it is incumbent, ya ibad, that we look and we have a serious concern for the foundation. Because the structure, for lack of a better term, it will only be as good as the foundation would allow. In other words, if the structure itself is going to be strong, then this is because it is built upon a strong foundation. But if the foundation is weak, then the structure, it will crumble and it will fall at any provocation. وَمَتَى كَانَ الْأَسَاسِ وَثِيقًا حَمِلَ بُنْيَانٍ وَاِعْتِلَاءٍ عَلَيْهِ. And when the structure and the foundation, it is strong and it is firm, then you will find that the structure that is on top of it, then it will rise. The structure that is on top of it, it will rise. وَإِذَا تَهَدَّمَ الشَّيْء مِنَ الْبُنْيَانِ سَهَلَ تَدَارُكَهُ. And if something from the top of the structure itself happens to fall down, it happens to become crumbled, or there is a deficiency in the structure itself, because the foundation is strong, it will be easily repaired. It will be easy to repair those deficiencies in the structure itself. وَإِذَا كَانَ الْأَسَاسِ غَيْرُ وَثِيقٍ لَمْ يَرْتَفِعْ الْبُنْيَانِ وَلَمْ يَثْبُتْ. But if the foundation is not strong, then the structure itself, it will not be able to rise, nor will it stay. وَإِذَا تَهَدَّمَ الشَّيْء مِنْ الْأَسَاسِ سَقَطَ الْبُنْيَانِ أَوْ كَادَ. And if something is destroyed from the foundation, then the structure will fall down, or the structure will about to fall down. Meaning that what? If the foundation, it has in it some type of corruption, if the foundation has in it some type of integrity or some type of weakness and the like, and instability, then you will find that that the structure will fall down. If the foundation has in it some type of deficiency, then the structure itself will fall down. But if the foundation is strong, and then there comes a deficiency in the structure itself, then it will be easy to repair. It will be easy to repair and to mend those deficiencies inside of the structure. Why? Because the foundation is strong. فَالْعَارِفْ حَمَّتُهُ تَصْحِيحِ الْأَسَاسِ وَالْإِحْكَامِ. So the one who he knows, the one who has knowledge, the one who has insight, then what? Then it is his priority. It is important to him that he makes sure that he rectifies the foundation and he completes the foundation. وَالْجَاهِلْ, but the one who is ignorant, يَرْفَعْ فِي الْبُنْيَانِ, but the one who is ignorant, يَرْفَعْ فِي الْبِنَاءِ, he will raise and he will erect a structure عَنْ غَيْرِ الْأَسَاسِ, with no foundation. He will raise a structure upon no foundation. فَلَا يَلْبِثُ بُنْيَانَهُ وَلَا يَلْبِثُ بُنْيَانُهُ أَيَسْقُطُ. So you will find that he will not keep his structure safe from falling down. He will not keep his structure safe from falling down, but rather his structure, it will fall. Why? Because he built it without having a foundation. So his efforts are going to be fruitless. They're going to fall down. They're going to perish. Allah Ta'ala, he says, أَفَمَنْ أسس بنيانه على تقوى من الله ورضوان خير أم من أسس بنيانه على شفا حفر هار فانهار به في نار جهنم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, and who is better is not the one who builds his structure. Naam, is not the one who builds his structure, is not the one who his foundation, the foundation of his structure is upon the fear of Allah and seeking the pleasure of Allah. Is he not better? Or the one who has built his structure, the one who the foundation of his structure is upon the brink of an undetermined precipice ready to crumble down, so that it crumbles into pieces. It crumbles into pieces with him into the fire of hell. Which one of these is better? The one who has built his structure upon the foundation of having fear of Allah, pious unto Allah, seeking the pleasure of Allah. Is this one better? Or is the one who has built his structure upon the foundation of that which are undetermined precipice ready to crumble down and fall down with him into the fire? Which one of these two are better? Then of course, bila shak wa bila rayb, the one who has built his foundation on the fear of Allah, the one who has built his, the one who his foundation is the fear of Allah, the one who his foundation is seeking the pleasure of Allah. This one, when he builds his structure upon such a foundation, then he will find success. This one, he will be the one who is safe. He will be the one who is happy. He will be the one who will be able to deal with any and all types of calamities that will come to him in the dunya. Why? Because his foundation is strong. His foundation is the foundation of having fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being pious unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trying to stay away from sin and transgression, trying to stay away from those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made haram. His foundation is a foundation of following the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His foundation is a foundation of being upon that which the Salafy Salih they were upon. Such an individual, how was it possible that he can be miserable? Such an individual with such a foundation, he is an individual who will be successful. He is an individual who will be happy when he meets Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But on the flip side, an individual who builds his structure upon the foundation of disobedience unto Allah, the person who has built his structure upon the foundation of that which Allah hates and is angry with, an individual who has built his structure upon a foundation that involves innovation, that involves disobedience to the Messenger of Allah, that involves that which is contrary to the way of the believers. How is it possible that such an individual could attain happiness on any level? How is it possible that such an individual could ever be successful? How is it possible except that that individual has to be miserable? Because this is what his foundation necessitates. فالأساس لبناء الأعمال كالقوة لبدن الإنسان. So the foundation of the structure of the actions, that it will be like the sustenance to the body of an individual. The likeness, it will be like the sustenance to the body of an individual. فإذا كانت القوة قوية حملت البدن ودفعت كثيرا من الآفات. So if the sustenance that the body it takes in, it is strong, healthy sustenance, that the body it takes in, then it will help the body to repel much of the damage that comes to it, much of that which will plague it. It will help it. نعم. وإذا كانت القوة ضعيفة ضعف حملها للبدن وكانت الآفات إليه أسرع شيء. But if the sustenance that is taken inside of the body, then it is weak, then the body, it will be weak and unable to deal with the calamity, unable to deal with the damage And it will fall victim to the slightest of provocations. It will fall victim to the slightest of ailments and so on and so forth. And we know this is the haqq. And when an individual, he is strong, it is easier for him to go through an injury. You find he heals faster. But when the individual, their body is weak, sickly and the like, then the slightest of injury becomes major to that individual. It can't handle it. So likewise, when we reflect upon this similitude, when we reflect upon this, then we realize that what? The only way of our survival inside of this dunya, the only way of our success in the next life is that we have to have a strong foundation. We have to have a strong foundation, and that foundation is faith. That foundation is iman. We have to have strong iman. We have to have strong faith. And the only way that we will be able to have strong faith is that we have to begin and have a concern of properly believing in Allah and in His names and His attributes. We have to have a strong concern to properly believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in His names and His attributes. We have to have a strong concern to believe properly. This is the only thing that will be able to equip us to deal with whatever damage may come to us as we go through this dunya on our way to the akhirah, to meet and stand in front of our Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to answer for what we have done inside of this dunya. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who are happy when they meet Him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those whom He is pleased with when they meet Him. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروا فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يا عباد الله, this foundation of iman, proper iman, it is incumbent. It necessitates knowledge. It necessitates that we know. Because how can we properly believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How can we properly believe in the names and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if we are ignorant about them? This is something, ya ibad, that we have to rectify within our lives. If we find issues inside of our lives, we find things that we are going through that we don't know how to deal with, we can't deal with it, then we have to question ourselves, how strong is our foundation? How much do we really know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How much do we really know about the names and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because you will find that the more we know about Allah, the more we know about His names and His attributes, the more we have understanding of the names and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the stronger our iman will be, the stronger our foundation will be, the more equipped we will be to handle the trials and tribulations of life. وإن الفقه في أسماء الله الحسنى باب شريف من العلم. Because having understanding of the names and the attributes of Allah, having understanding of the beautiful names of Allah, then this is a tremendously noble chapter of knowledge, a tremendously noble subject of knowledge. بل هو فقه الأكبر, but rather it is what? It is the major fiqh, for lack of a better term and or translation. But this is the major fiqh, the big fiqh. نعم. وهو يدخل دخولا أوليا, and it enters first and foremost في قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم, into the statement of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, من يرد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. Whoever Allah wants good for, He gives him understanding of the religion. حديث متفق عليه. على كل حال, what enters first and foremost into the meaning of this hadith about having understanding of the religion is what? Is having understanding of the names and the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. To have understanding of the names and the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. This type of knowledge, yani, that it is necessitated from us. We have to know this. We have to know about the Tawheed and implement the Tawheed. قال الشيخ حفظه الله تعالى Abdul Razak, rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, فالتوحيد الذي خلق الله الخلق لأجل نوعان. He said, because the tawheed that Allah created the creation for is two types. When we talking about the types, Juyaanee, we're not talking about the categories. I don't want anyone to be confused. We're talking about the types. And it will be known, inshallah ta'ala, further shortly what is intended by what I just said. The Shaykh, he says, التوحيد المعرفة والإثبات. The tawheed of knowing and affirming. The tawheed of knowing, that we have to have knowledge and we have to affirm. وهو يشمل إيمان بالربوبية الله عز وجل وأسمائه وصفاته. And this will enter, what enters into this type is what is the categories of rububiyyah wa asma wa sifat. What enters into this is the category, the two categories are the rububiyyah, the lordship of Allah Azza wa Jal. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is our Lord, He is our creator, He is our sustainer, He is the arranger of the affairs, so on and so forth. And also what enters into this is what is the tawheed of the names and the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He is Ar-Rahman. Allah Azza wa Jal, He is Al-Khaliq. Allah Azza wa Jal, He is Ar-Raziq, so on and so forth. Naam? This enters into the tawheed of what? Of knowing and affirming. And then the next one, التوحيد الإرادة والطلب. This is the tawheed of irada, of the individual's intention, and the tawheed of seeking, meaning acting out and so on and so forth. The actions, we have to bring forth the actions. وهو التوحيد العبادة. And this is the tawheed of ibadah, or the category of التوحيد الألوهية. التوحيد الألوهية. So you find the three categories of tawheed, because tawheed is three categories and that's it. Naam? But when you look at it from the standpoint of what, then you see it enters into these two aspects. These two aspects, all three categories, enters into these two aspects. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He shows us this inside the Qur'an. For example, the statement of Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allahu alladhi khalaqa sab'a samawati wa min al-ardi mithlahun. That Allah is the one who created 7 heavens and from the earth the like thereof, meaning what? 7 earths. Naam. يتنزل الأمر بينهن. Allah Ta'ala, He sends down the affair in them. He sends down the affair in the heavens and in the earth. لِتَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ أَحَاطَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عِلْمًا. So that it is known, so that we have knowledge that Allah is over all things capable, and that the knowledge of Allah encompasses all things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayat is telling us that what? Is that we have to know. We have to know. La ilaha illallah. Fa'alam annahu la ilaha illallah. And know that nothing has the right to be worshipped in the truth except Allah. وَدَلَّ عَلَى ثَانِي. And what points to the second aspect, قَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And I did not create the jinn or the mankind except for them to worship me. This points to the second aspect. Because remember, the first aspect, it encompasses at-tawheed al-rububiyyah wa tawheed al-asma wa sifat. That we have to know and affirm. So we have to have knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because how are you going to affirm something you don't know about? But we have to have knowledge of the names and the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. We have to have knowledge about Allah Azza wa Jal. So what enters into this aspect is tawheed al-rububiyyah wa tawheed al-uluhiyyah. التوحيد الربوبية والتوحيد الأسماء والصفات. And the second aspect is that we have to implement the tawheed. We have to have our intentions sincerely for Allah Azza wa Jal and do the actions sincerely and only for Allah Azza wa Jal. And this one enters into this aspect is at-tawheed al-uluhiyyah. The tawheed of the ibadah of Allah Azza wa Jal, that all of our worship is unto Allah Azza wa Jal. Ala kulli hal, it is incumbent that we give some time, much of our time, into this affair. the bulk of our time, the majority of our life, all of our life, to this affair of Tawheed, establishing Tawheed, learning about Tawheed, acting upon Tawheed. All of our life has to be like that. As relates to the first type, that we want to stress the importance of learning about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, learning about the names and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In a number of verses, Allah ta'ala, He points us to this in the Qur'an. For example, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, فَعَلَمْ Allah Ta'ala says, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. And know, have knowledge, that nothing has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. We have to know about Allah. We have to know that nothing has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. We have to know about Allah's names and His attributes. Allah Ta'ala, He says, فَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. He said, and know that verily Allah, He is the Almighty, He is the All-Wise. وقال تعالى وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. Allah Ta'ala, He says, and know, have knowledge, that verily Allah is over all things, all-knowing. وقال تعالى, Allah Ta'ala, He says, وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. And know, have knowledge, know for surety, that verily Allah is all watching over what you do. You understand, when we go back to this foundation and how it affects the structure. If we look at the structure of our life, the actions that we put forward and so on and so forth, the strength of it is dependent upon the foundation. So for individual, he knows, he has deep understanding of the names and the attributes of Allah. He has deep understanding about his Lord Azza wa Jal. It will have a direct effect upon his actions. Allah Ta'ala knows everything. So the person who fully understands that, is he going to be acting haphazardly in any way? He knows Allah knows everything. He knows Allah is the Almighty. He knows Allah is the All-Wise. He knows Allah puts everything in its right place. He knows that Allah is over all things, all-seeing. He knows that Allah sees him. So is that not going to affect his actions? He's not going to be acting and doing any type of thing, because he knows that Allah sees him. And the stronger he knows that, the more effect it will have upon him. You understand? This is why the foundation is extremely important, because there is direct correlation between the foundation and between the structure, between the belief and between what? The manifestation of that belief. Because remember, ya ibad, al-iman, belief, is i'tiqad, wal-qawl, wal-amal. Because faith, it is a belief. It is a belief in the heart, a statement upon the tongue, and actions. And actions. Allah Ta'ala says, وَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ حَلِيمٌ. And know that Allah, He is the all-forgiving, the forbearing. This will have an effect upon a person. Because which one of us accept that we wrong ourselves? Which one of us accept that we bring forth sins and transgressions against ourselves? But if we know that we have a Lord that is all-forgiving, a Lord that is forbearing, this is an encouragement for a person to quickly turn to Allah Azza wa Jal in repentance, to rectify what remains of his life by repenting unto Allah Azza wa Jal, rectifying his wrongdoings, leaving all his sins, abandoning his sins, abandoning evil individuals, abandoning those individuals who he used to sin with, cutting off all types of bad company. It will encourage him to strive to do this, because he knows that his Lord is all forgiving, forbearing. وَقَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. And know that Allah is the all-hearing, the all-knowing. وَقَالَ تَعَالَى وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ حَمِيدٌ. And know that Allah is free of all needs, and Allah is worthy of all praise. Individual, he knows this will have an effect upon him. This will have an effect upon him when he's going through hard times and difficulties and so on and so forth. He needs help. It will encourage him to call upon Allah Azza wa Jal, because Allah Azza wa Jal, huwa ghani, he's free of all needs. He don't need nothing. Huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir, he's over all things capable. وقال تعالى وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Allah Ta'ala says what means, and know that verily Allah is severe in punishment. Individual, he understands this. This will translate into him what? Interfering Allah with what he does with his actions. Interfering Allah, being scared of Allah, staying away from the sin. Why? Because he knows that Allah is severe in punishment. And when he slips up due to the weakness that's within him, and he does that haram thing, he does that sin, then he will have hope. Why? وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Because Allah Ta'ala, he is the all-forgiving, the most merciful. So you find this person, he'll be between hope and fear. He'll be between hope and fear. قال الله تعالى وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ مَوْلَاكُمْ نِعْمَ الْمَوْلَى وَنِعْمَ النَّصِيرُ. Allah Ta'ala says, and know that Allah, he is your Lord, he is your protector, he is your helper, and he is the best, the most excellent, the best of protectors. He is the best of supporters. Allah is the best helper. When an individual truly understands this, it will have an effect upon his life. Because no matter what he goes through, no matter what difficulty he's in, even if it's something just the strap of his sandal breaking, he will make sure that the first of his attention, he will make sure that the first of his action to rectify that particular affair is to turn to Allah. Is to turn to Allah. Because Allah is our supporter. Allah is our helper. Allah is the best supporter, the best protector. Allah is the best helper. So no matter what he's going through, he will take it to Allah first. You won't find his first call will be to this one or that one. You won't find his first call will be to anyone from the creation. But you will find that what? That he will take it to Allah first. Then, after that, those who can help him in his situation from those who can help him. But his first attention will be to take it unto Allah Azza wa Jal. There's a correlation, ya ibad, between the proper belief and deep understanding of the names and the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal and how it has an effect upon our lives. Anyone who wants to be successful, anyone who wants to be successful in this world and the next, he has to make it his priority to learn about the names and the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. He has to make it his priority to know about Allah Azza wa Jal. Those who truly love Allah Azza wa Jal, they strive to learn about Allah Azza wa Jal. They strive to have deep understanding of his names and his attributes. And this is why you find that their character is molded and is shaped in such a way. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Verily, the only ones who truly fear Allah from his slaves, they are the ulama. The ulama, because they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based upon knowledge, based upon their deep and profound understanding of the names and the attributes of Allah, based on their correct belief in Allah, in his angels, in his books, in his messengers, in the day of judgment, in qadar khayrihi wa sharrih, in everything that stems and is connected to that. Because of their proper belief in Allah Azza wa Jal, it has a tremendous effect, an amazing effect upon their actions. So when we find deficiencies within ourselves, when we find deficiencies within our structure, then we have to question ourselves. What's up with our foundation? How is our foundation looking? Because when we rectify our foundation, and you will find the structure on top of it will be rectified. Anything that falls down or is vandalized by our hands and the like to the structure is easily repaired when you have a strong foundation. So how is your foundation? Aqimus salah.